library to serve as a cover for a secret agent. A Yale professor would go abroad ostensibly to acquire books for the library, but actually to gather intelligence. The OSS needed a real Yale professor, in part because the cover would need to be performed as competently as the spycraft. Was Curtis willing to do the job? He was. Tinker, Tailor, Scholar, Spy. The story that follows is not going to sound like it really happened, but it did. The OSS, the predecessor to today's Central Intelligence Agency, really did recruit Joseph Curtis to become a secret agent in a dangerous undercover mission abroad. It was a mission that required his knowledge and love of books, just as a fighter pilot's mission requires a knowledge of planes. And the OSS recruited hundreds of others like him, mild-mannered professors and oddball archivists and restless librarians. Because America had no standing intelligence agency at the start of the war and needed to build up an instant bank of expertise on every subject in the library, the OSS simply raided the library for recruits. These bookish types were pulled into the Cloak and Dagger Brigade and trained, in the words of one contemporary, in all the black arts of mystery, deception, and mayhem. Their adventures took them, and the saboteurs, swindlers, and human smugglers they found themselves suddenly collaborating with, to the covered bazaars of Istanbul, a legation in Stockholm, a salt mine in Austria, a seedy cafe in Marseille, a deception training camp outside of Los Angeles that might as well have been a studio lot, a power plant hidden in the snowy mountains of Norway that the Nazis were using in a scheme to develop a secret weapon. But above all, their adventures took them through the world of books. At the start of the war, the United States was utterly outmatched by every other country in terms of intelligence experience. For centuries, the rest of the world had been playing the game of spycraft. The English sent poets in doublets and ruffs to spy on rival courts. The French court of Louis XIV maintained a paper database of reports from throughout the empire that was so meticulous it would make an Excel specialist weep. The Japanese developed, over centuries, tactics of spycraft in the secret world of the ninja that informed their spy school in Nakano during World War II. The Germans had spies on their own streets. After all, they ran a police state. In July 1941, President Roosevelt appointed a man named William Donovan to take charge of starting up a new intelligence service. Donovan was a lawyer by training. He had been a war hero during World War I, and in 1940, a Warner Brothers film about his heroics appeared in theaters, portraying Donovan as a natural leader, someone of high ideals and authoritative command. The Fighting 69th, starring James Cagney, George Brent portrayed Donovan. Perhaps the film influenced Roosevelt's decision. Whatever the case, appointing Donovan to lead the new service, which was called the Office of the Coordinator of Information, COI, before changing its name in June 1942 to the Office of Strategic Services, OSS, was a decision that had a profound effect on the war. There was no way that Donovan and his crew could catch up with their intelligence rivals in terms of experience. So instead, they reinvented intelligence. They looked around for an intelligence resource that the other players in the war were underestimating, and they found an answer that would not only turn the war around, but also reshape the global system of espionage. Scholars, and the wonders they could work in the world of books and paper. The very first branch that Donovan built in his new intelligence agency was called Research and Analysis, RNA. It represented something new in the world of spycraft. The research and development branch of the OSS, which employed researchers in the applied sciences, chemistry, engineering, fields that prepared one to build weapons and spy gear, was a long-established type of institution in other countries. But RNA, which pulled researchers from university departments in the humanities and social sciences, had no equivalent in other spy agencies. Donovan sought out these humble drudges of the archive, as no spy master had done before, because Donovan was accustomed, as a lawyer, to reading the literature before he made decisions, to studying and gathering insights from all the information in print. His RNA agents did this, and more. The historians, philologists, psychologists, economists, and other humanists of RNA examined materials that ranged from ordinary books to classified documents, trash, enemy newspapers, phone books, railway rate schedules, and Aunt Min photos, or vacation photos from ordinary Americans that showed a loved one, Aunt Min, waving cheerfully in front of some building in